What's up everyone, I'm Elsa and today we have a full body circuit and we are using dumbbells for it, light dumbbells. So you can go ahead and grab your set. I'm using 4-pound dumbbells. You could probably use anywhere from like 2 to 8-pound dumbbells depending on what you want to get out of this, what you are feeling up for. Yeah, totally up to you as always. Our first exercise is going to be a squat using the dumbbells. So you can keep them at your side. You can put them in the rack, which is what I'm gonna do. So my arms are just up at shoulder height, leaving my wrists straight, not letting them fall out, not letting them fall in. So straight like this, keeping your back nice and upright. Feet are about hip width apart, depending on your preference for squats. You're gonna send your booty back into that parallel position. Stand up, squat down, stand up. We're doing 10 of these. Squat down, stand up, trying to keep yourself as upright as possible and trying to lower yourself under control. Yeah, you are stopping at the depth before you get that little lower back dip. Like you see how my butt is dipping down here, my back is rounding. We don't want that. We want a nice flat back. Ha. We're doing 10 of these total. If you can't get that low, also totally fine. If you have a box you want to squat to or a chair, also totally fine. Same rules apply. We lower ourselves, sit all the way back, putting our full weight onto that chair, and then we stand up, pushing through our feet, not using momentum, yeah? Once we do that, we are going to go into a standing crunch. So we are going to, you can use the dumbbells or not to put them up like this. And then you are going to crunch to the side, crunch, crunch. Just like that. I alternate sides. Ha. Again, this is gonna challenge you in a couple different ways, right? Because you can't move your hands in, otherwise you're gonna hit your head with your dumbbells. Ha. If you don't wanna use your dumbbells, feel free to drop them and instead support your neck or your head with your hands. And again, lift, lower, lift, lower, lift, lower, nice and under control. It's truly whatever feels best for you. If having the dumbbells up like that worries you at all, don't do it, right? Not worth the time of day to be concerned about something like that. Just drop them, do them regularly. Will not hurt a thing if you don't use the weights, right? Once you do 10 per side of those, we are going to go into an overhead press using the dumbbells. So for that overhead press, you are going to start with your hand. I'm gonna show you from a kneeling position. You can do these standing. I just will not be in frame if I do them standing. So we're gonna start at our shoulders, then we press up and we lower. Press up and we lower. I'm gonna show you from this side too, just so you see, right? I'm keeping my shoulders down out of my ears. I'm not hunching them up like that. So keeping the shoulders down, we press and we lower. We press and we lower. We press and we lower. Making sure we have a nice, strong lockout at the top, right? Our arms aren't coming back, keeping them stable, and we lower, right? Lift, lower, lift, lower. We're gonna do 10 of these per side. If you don't have a weight, or 10 of these total, sorry. If you have one weight, feel free to do one side at a time for this exercise, right? We lift and we lower just like that. The trick, if you're doing it with one arm, you're not gonna like lean to the side like that. Keeping those shoulders level is key. Still pressing and bringing them back down. That's also gonna be the case if you have like one heavy dumbbell that you still feel stable enough to overhead press. You can use that, but yeah, totally up to you. For our next couple exercises, they're gonna take place on a mat. So yeah, they're gonna be on a mat or a bed, a towel, blanket, anything soft and cushioned for you, up to you, right? so we are going to start with a glute bridge. So our feet are hip width apart. For the weights, I'm going to rest mine on my hips and I'm gonna keep my hands on them. If you don't want to use your weights, just drop them off to the side. No big deal, right? So keeping them on my hips, using my hands to support it. You're going to lift your booty off the mat, squeezing your glutes and lower, right? If your feet feel like they're too far out, bring them in a little bit more. Lift and we lower. Lift, hold for a couple seconds at the top and lower. Lift, hold for a couple seconds and lower. Lift and lower. If you decide not to use the weights here, that is totally cool. You can instead just press your hands to the sides of the mat, lift and lower, lift and lower. We're gonna go, let's do 15 of these. If you're using a very heavy weight, you can do less reps if you want. You can do as many reps as you can with the weight, drop the weight and do the rest. Totally up to you, right? Let's go for 5 more with the weights. We lift and lower. Lift, making sure you squeeze at the top and lower. Lift, lower, lift and lower. Ha. Once you do that, we have another exercise. Again, it's going to take place from a mat on the ground, right? I'm gonna keep my feet bent like this. And for my arm, these are skull crushers, so these work your triceps. You are just going to put your arms straight up so your wrists are again over your shoulders. For a skull crusher, it's kind of what it sounds like. It acts like you're crushing your skull. Obviously, the goal is to not literally crush your skull. You're gonna press your back into the mat. You're pressing your feet into the mat, pressing those shoulders into the mat. And what you do is you bend your elbows, bringing your hands towards your face, just like that. So see how the dumbbells are right around my face, and then pressing out and up. So we lower and we lift. We're keeping our elbows in one position, right? We're not lowering them as we do this. We're keeping them nice and straight, nice and elevated. So we're just lowering so our wrists get right by our face and we press out. Lower, press out. We're doing 10 of these. Lower, press out. I personally love skull crushers if it's a movement that you feel uneasy about, just because the weight is again so close to your head. You can try the movement without a weight to get comfortable with it, or you can do like a tricep extension instead. Do this from a standing position. I'm just gonna show you from this. So you start with your hands all the way up top, and your shoulders are right by your ears, right? Everything is in line. Elbows by your ears, everything's tucked right against your face. You just lower your hands, dropping them back, press straight up, lower, and lift. You are keeping your elbows right by your face. You're not letting them come forward or back. It is really whatever makes you feel the most comfortable. Let's do one more little exercise to finish, and then we are going to be done with it. We can use the dumbbells for this or not. So you can use one single weight if that is something you want to do, or you can use no weights at all. We are going to start in a plank position from our hands. So your hands are stacked right under your wrists, wrists under your elbows, elbows right under your shoulders, kicking off into that plank position, right? You can make your feet a little wider for this guy, keeping that back nice and flat, right? Not dipping, not pressing up. With one hand, you are going to grab that weight, shift it over to your other side, drop it, grab it, shift it over to the other side. Try not to let it roll away. Shift it over, put it down. The trick with this is to not like tip over to one side. So you're keeping everything nice and controlled, yeah? Bringing your feet wider can help. do it 10 times total, right? I'm gonna go for 3, 2, and 1. If that's too much, you can just hold your plank. Totally up to you. But that's a fun little finisher to really get that burn going. Feel it in your shoulders and your upper body. Feel it in your core too. Yeah, totally a little optional finisher. But that is it from me today. Go ahead and do the circuit 1, 2, 3 more times if you want to just keep going with it. If you are done, you're tired, you're good for today, also totally fine. Call it a day, and when you feel like it's right to, yeah, thank you for joining me. Hope you have a great rest of your day, and I hope to see you again soon. Thank you.